Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kaya. Thank you for clicking on this video, and welcome to a guide video / roster showcase, I guess, on how to use the MyDRAFT game mode in NBA 2K23. Now, this is not an official 2K game mode. I went ahead and named it MyDRAFT like it's an official mode. I think it could be a cool mode, but we all know that if you can't make money off of the mode, then 2K is not going to put the mode in the game. Although they did put My NBA Airs in the game, so I guess that's at least saying something. Because they're not making much money off of that, I don't think. But anyways, here's how this works. First of all, when you decide you want to play this, you're gonna go to settings, you're gonna turn off fatigue and injuries. Just flat turn those features of the game off. You do not want, because you're only gonna have 5 players playing. You're not really doing substitutions. So just go to settings, turn off injuries, turn off fatigue. The rest of your settings, game speed or whatever, you can set it to whatever you want. CPU user sliders, you can use whatever slider set you want, whether you want to go sim style, you want to go comp style, you want to use 2K's default sliders, whatever you want to do. You want some good sliders, I could totally recommend Hot Boys sliders if you just want a custom slider set base that I know is solid. I have a few things of his when I decide I want to play with it that I do tweak for myself. I feel like it's too easy to make 3-point shots in his slider set, so I tweak that. But, everybody has their own feelings on sliders. Just use whatever slider set you want. Maybe you got your own. And here's how this is going to work. So you're going to go to Create Roster, Modern NBA, User Created Roster, and you're going to search for MyDRAFT, or you're going to search for My Online ID in the game Kaya. And this is currently just a demo because not all the teams are done yet. So here's how you see this works. Every team eventually will have identical rosters, and all of these players, every single attribute is pretty much the same. Some are tweaked slightly based on their position, but for the most part, their stats are identical across the board. So, and every team has the same players, like you can see all this. Now, not all the teams are done. I have to go through and delete all the players and put in these bench warmers on every team, because if you just empty out the roster, 2K says, hey, you can't play with that roster, this doesn't have enough players on it. So these are mostly just backfill. You could probably sub them in situationally, but their attributes are all 65 pretty much across the board, so they're going to be not good. They have 0 badges, they have basic animations, and 65 across the board. The most I could see you doing is maybe bringing one in to hit a 3-point shot if you needed a little bit of floor spacing, maybe. But I suppose you could sub them in. For the most part, I would say just play with your 5. And this is where the meat of the roster is right here in the free agency pool. So there are 5 tiers of players. If you've ever seen one of those images where it's like you have 15 points or $15 to create your all-time starting 5, and there's 5 tiers of players, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can build your team however you want. That's the same principle here. 99s are worth 5 points. You have 15 points to build your team. You get to draft 5 players, tops. You have 15 points to build your team. You can spend those points however you want. You want 3 99s at 5 points each? That means you're playing with 270 overalls in the other positions. Probably not what you want to do. So I would recommend drafting all 5, or maybe instituting a rule with whoever you're playing this with that you have to draft all 5 positions. So it'd be like a 99, 2 95s, and then 2 80s. So, because 99 is 5 points, 95 is 4 points, 90 is 3 points, 85 is 2 points, and 80 is 1 point. So you're going to draft 15 points worth of players. However you want to do that, you want to go super top heavy, you want to get 1 of each, you want to kind of balance out in the middle a little bit. There's some NBA legends in here. There's current players in here. They're all over the place. There are some players that aren't normally in a 2K roster that are in here. For instance, I think Yeah, here. Charles Barkley. Some of these are players that I downloaded and tweaked from 2K Some of them are ones that I built myself. I can't keep track of all of them. I don't even remember the entire list of players that are in here like that. But you're just going to go ahead and assign. So let's go ahead and get 15 points just to show you how this works. So what you would do, I'm just going to get one of each to make the point tally simple, because that comes out a 99, a 95, a 90, an 85, and an 80 comes out perfectly to 15 points. So let's go ahead and do that. And this would normally be done with, say, another person you're going to play locally against. And you'd both draft teams, like flip a coin, play rock, paper, scissors to figure out who drafts first. And then the other person drafts twice in a row, and you draft twice in a row, and then they get the last pick, Or however that works. So that should be everybody assigned to the Sixers. 99, 95, 90, 85, 80. Okay, so there's my 2 centers, a power forward, a shooting guard. Okay, so we got Zach Randolph playing small forward on this team because I wasn't paying attention. But let's go ahead and if you want to do this real fast, you're only going to play the 5 players. Just set the bench depth to 5 and auto reassign. And then if you have weird positions like I just did, you're going to have to fix this by hand. There. So we should have Allen Iverson and Sidney Moncrief, Zach Randolph, Moses Malone, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So there is our 5-player team. And then once these are done, you're going to save the roster. And I already have this set up, so just save it like that. You're going to go to Play Now. Again, make sure your fatigue and injuries are off. Everything else can be however you want. Go to Created Roster. You're going to save this file locally and then load your local roster. And there's my team. On the right, the Philadelphia 76ers. If you wanted to play against somebody, you can do this online as well. If you want to do this with somebody else online, you'd have to have them communicate with you, like in a PlayStation chat. This is on PlayStation only. No PC, no Xbox. You'd have to communicate with someone what players they wanted, what team they wanted it on. Again, not all the teams in the NBA are done yet. And then save that roster with the 2 teams done, 3 teams done, however many people we're going to play. Create an online league, My NBA Eras League, and it would have to be a modern era league. My NBA Online in the modern era, and then load the roster that you saved locally and tell them what team they are on, or if they selected a team, tell them to pick the team they selected so they can have their roster. But that way you'll be able to play with them online, again, using whatever slider set you want or whatever, and just make sure that fatigue and injuries are off. So go ahead and pull this up and show you what it looks like when you get into the game. This is pretty much the end of the video. I cannot play 2K and commentate at the same time. It is so hard. So let me skip through this. We'll just go ahead and, as we get started here in our game, and I have this set up for a simulation of some kind, so it probably is not going to play that great. And my team isn't great either. But that's going to do it for this video. Let me know if you have any feedback on the mode or whatever, what you think about it. Always looking for feedback so I can improve my rosters and ideas and stuff. Feedback on the video. You know what? It's a YouTube video. If you could do all the YouTube video things down below, that'd be much appreciated. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Big project is coming. The QBL. You'll find out what that is probably pretty soon. Thank you. Have a nice day.